do this. Okay. Well, doesn't matter. It's fine. I think I still like it either way. We have done it in the past, I think is better. We'll do that. It's fine. All right. Not that. Don't want that. Tab to completely the wrong thing. Okay. I'll be back. Give me just 1 minute here. BRBs. To the B. To the R to the B and stuff. Hey, Monmouth, welcome to the stream. Sorry about the delay. I had to go to the bathroom, and then I started the stream, and then I had to go to the bathroom again. So I don't know what's happening with my body. Apparently, I'm going to the bathroom a lot. I don't know. So, anyway, which one was this? This was back to that. Oops. Yeah. So let's load this one. Where'd his fourth notes go? 1, 2, 3. We had a fourth set of notes somewhere. Ah, fourth. Here we go. I think every so often in this game, it seems anyway, it's important to go back and review your notes again. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. I don't really normally sit up this much, but I think I do come forward. Yeah, that's probably why I'm not really fully in the webcam as much because I'm not forward as much as I normally am. So we got this. See if there's anything else. I'll just go backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll just make sure. We'll make sure. Try to see if there's anything we missed, just to make sure that we're not missing clues we need. Looks paler, speaks less, is getting increasingly worse. Knocked at my door on a stormy night. It was all wet, but seemed unaware of this. Invited him to come in. He hesitated at first, but then quickly came in. Doubting that's a thing, but let's see. No. Okay. His hands were shaking so much, I thought he had a nervous breakdown. During the night, he didn't speak often. When he did, it seemed like he talked under compulsion. Is this some kind of mind control something that's going to happen, or no? Maybe just felt under compulsion. Maybe just means like he just felt this drive to explain things. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, like underline all the time. Well, one caveat with that is that if you underline some things before the game is ready to give you clues for them, nothing happens. I've already seen that. Like this, we went through this 4th set of notes from Clarkfield before. I did this already previously, and it did not underline. Only recently were we able to underline this. So I know for a fact, this is one example, but I know there are other places too, where a clue will not, like Howard, our character, the protagonist, will say, nothing interesting, unless the game has triggered certain things, and you're at a point where it goes, oh, and now you're ready for this clue. I mean, to be fair, there are some clues that don't, like, how should I say this? There's some clues that it makes sense you would not automatically connect the dots with unless you had other information, right? So, and I know it may not feel, recital practice, yeah. I know it may not feel as fun as in some other games, but I do feel like it probably is a bit more realistic in that regard. Now, there are some flaws with the system I've already pointed out. There are some places where because I'm playing this blind, right? I've never played this before. Except for when I had to fix my game. Otherwise, I'd never played any of this before going through this. So, there are places where I've made connections and Howard has not. And Howard's supposed to be the police detective. So, there's some flaws in some of the logic where it goes, oh, you know this clue or you don't. But overall, I think it makes more sense from a realism perspective to do it this way. Because you would not connect dots unless you had certain information. So I still feel like this is too high. A week ago, I had to move the webcam to show that I didn't have anything I could use to cheat when I took that ham radio exam. And ever since then, my webcam has felt a little bit like it's not quite lined up where I would like it, where I'd had it before. Mostly good, but still a little bit off here and there sometimes. Okay, anyway. So it felt like he was compelled, basically. He's talking under compulsion. His eyes were bloodshot. He was sweating profusely. I asked him to stay in my house during the storm as an excuse, and he accepted without hesitation. When he previously came to visit me 3 nights before, he seemed normal, but I could see quite clearly he wasn't listening to me. And he trembled whenever there were loud noises caused by the storm. I wouldn't think this, but yeah, no, okay. These tremblings did not seem to be caused by random, but more like extreme uneasiness of a person constantly under threat. Yeah, this is another thing, like, was he being chased by something? Maybe they actually succeeded in summoning some kind of chthonic creature and now he's in trouble? But he could also be just paranoid. That's the thing with anything with Lovecraft or in the style of Lovecraft, the lines get blurred between psychological issues like hallucinations or a psychological break, some kind of psychosis, whatever, and actual otherworldly and magical interaction with the real world, right? And so because you have this blending of the two, it becomes increasingly difficult for people who have gotten involved with this stuff, meaning like characters in the game or whatever, to realize what's real and what's not. So he could be hallucinating, or he could have actually been chased by something that was in actuality here chasing him, and we can't know because we weren't there, right? Unless if he would have been getting chased in his mind and we saw him running but there was nothing running after him and we were watching it, then there'd be two possibilities. Either the thing doesn't exist, the more likely possibility, or possibly the thing is invisible, or our eyes, our perception is flawed, so we didn't see what he saw. One of those two pretty much would have to be the case there, though, right? So anyway, so the fact that he thought he was like he was reacting to noises and stuff, he would, thought that something might happen to him or whatever, that could be justified fear and not just some kind of hallucinogenic experience. Tremblings did not seem caused by let's see. These tremblings did not seem to be caused by random, but more like the extreme uneasiness of a person constantly under threat. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. A person constantly under threat, but no. That's, at least right now, that's not a clue for us. Whenever there were noises, it was very noticeable how his mood changed, and fear enveloped him, and he would look around desperately. When I asked him if he had a problem, he said that there was nothing wrong, just tiredness, but it wasn't hard to see that he was on the brink of a breakdown. I haven't heard from him since that night. So he was on the brink of a breakdown, maybe, or haven't heard from him that night could also be a thing. No. Okay. And this is Ivar or Ivar, right? So that means that this was a compatriot of Clarkfield, and Loathnolder was the one, supposedly, who killed Clarkfield. So if Loathnolder killed Clarkfield, either he was doing his part to try potentially to eliminate... So, how do I say this? It's possible Loathnolder suspected Clarkfield, Ivar Bergen, Christopher Drayden, and some of the others in the group were actually going to summon something. It's possible Loathnolder was more in the know about that kind of stuff than we are. He realized what they were doing was like, whoa, I can't let this happen. And so he killed Clarkfield. Maybe he was maybe he was trying to hunt down Ivar Bergen, and that's why he hasn't seen Ivar Bergen since then. Maybe people are disappearing from the cult group or the summoning group, whatever, so that they don't summon whatever they were going to. If Loathnolder is knowledgeable about that enough and realizes what may be coming, he might be trying to put a stop to it. That's always a possibility that I hadn't really thought of until just tonight when we were talking just now. So that's always a possibility. I feel like it's more likely, though, that Loathnolder either was part of their group or saw what they were doing and then killed Clarkfield as a sacrifice to whatever other dimensional something or other he was going to summon. Right? Like, oh, great other from the other dimension, we summon you using this blood sacrifice kind of a thing or something. I don't know. But that might be what happened too. It's hard to say. It's also possible, of course, just like with a lot of other Cthulhian or chthonic types of games and stories and whatnot, that in the process of doing their rituals, the veil or the barrier between like their dimension and our dimension thinned enough that some things were able to kind of squeeze through, and so there are actual monsters in this world now that weren't here before that have started hunting down the summoners. That's a possibility too. It's hard to say. And then I haven't heard from him that night. Since that night, I don't think I actually submitted this for thought, but let me just make sure. No, okay. So there's that. Okay, I don't know how to describe this, but lately some strange incidents have occurred which have made me look at myself suspiciously. I don't think there's enough here to go off of for a solid clue, right? Some strange incidents. He hasn't described what they are, so how do we know if they have anything to do with what we've read, right? Recently at night, I've been hearing some unidentified hoarse screams, conversations, laughing, and gnawing sounds, which I guess have been coming from the depths of that damned well under the house. Maybe. I feel like this is not going to yield us anything, but let's see. No, okay. At first, most of the sounds were not clear enough to be distinguishable, and I thought that there were some animals, maybe rats, in the well. They might have gotten in through the openings in the well, and this would also explain those gnawing sounds. I thought that there were rats in that well. Aren't rats found in places like that? Lately, I hear these sounds more clearly, leaving me no doubt that some of them are human voices. I hear conversations, indescribably disgusting, malicious laughter, as if coming from the center of the earth, and many more sounds I cannot name that wake me up at night. I don't think this is going to be a clue, but let's see. No, okay. Saurian, it's not exactly human. It's kind of human hybrid something or other, right? But horse gnawing sounds that are coming from far away are also becoming clearer. They're like thousands of disgusting simultaneous gnawing sounds from the depths, and they're getting increasingly closer to the surface. I sometimes find myself waiting silently, hardly breathing in the dead of night, while trying to listen to the soft running noises or voices speaking. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there we can really use. In addition to this, I feel the house itself is trembling more noticeably than it used to, and I hear the wooden planks creaking as a result of these tremors. If I hadn't heard all those damned noises, the speaking, laughing, and gnawing sounds, I might have thought the small earthquakes were causing the tremors, because Wellsmith is in the highest level quake zone. But I'm not even sure as to whether the earthquakes of Wellsmith are natural. Who knows what lies below the depths of the earth, which shoulders with uneasiness. I don't know. Okay, let's look at our think panel and see what clues we have right now. Okay, the dialogues, I found the dialogues unhelpful, except that they can give you a reminder of conversations, but it seems like the dialogues really aren't something that we use the think panel on. Maybe in medicine analysis results? No, but I don't. What if I do that with hallucinogens? Or like Clarkfield is hallucinating or any of that kind of thing. Wasn't there? Yeah, Clarkfield also hallucinated. Is that maybe? No, that's nothing. I don't know what else the medicine analysis results could go with, for example, though. Changed medicine. Yeah, I feel like the dialogues are just so you can listen to something again, remind yourself of past conversations. I feel like they're not really all that useful anymore. Ring with a snake figure. There's this police friends is disturbing. Like I said, I suspect it could be Arthur or something, but I don't know if we have anything more to go on. I feel like we need to analyze more of the notes we have in the different places too. So we did 4 here, right? Yeah. So let's go to 3. We'll keep going through these specific notes that Clark Field has, and then I think we'll go through these one more time. Some of the notes at Ivar's cabin, like maybe the ones upstairs in that like letter thing with several letters, or well, any of the ones really, like in those roll up desks as well. We could always check the book that had the witch's tale or whatever in our desk at home again too. Okay, anyway, so we've got a bit of reading to do, I think, unfortunately. Like I'm sure that's the most exciting part of streaming these, but I do feel like this is probably worth reviewing again. During our conversation, Ivar blurted out that he has a secret meeting place in Northwood Forest. He has to clearly recall this because as soon as he realized he'd made a mistake, he tried to change the subject. After a short while, he realized I understood him. He told me he was planning to invite me there quite soon. First, he had to speak to some people whose identities he intentionally avoided revealing. This kind of ties to the whole, abbreviated names, right? Where you have like IB for Ivar Berrigan, for example, right? Or whatever. He doesn't, that didn't give us a new clue. Makes sense. It wouldn't give us anything new, probably. Spoke about this place a bit and emphasized it particularly had been empty for a long time, but from an aesthetic point of view, had every comfort that people like us always seek. He told some tales about the place, which is far away from the closest habitation, came about through a series of events that are mostly forgotten now. He told me it always seemed to be a place of pure evil, without even taking into account a few rumors. Okay, not that. It's not known who built it or when it was constructed. In time, it became an object of fear, which also caused people to be afraid of the forest. Might not have done that correctly anyway. Let's do like the whole sentence just in case. Nope. Okay. He left after that, telling me he would soon invite me to this place where he had some of his special friends meet, or where he and some of his special friends met. After he left, his mind was churning with strange thoughts. After so many gruesome things had been mentioned about it, it may sound strange to some people that I still wanted to see such a place, where darkness and myths of dark medieval ages were imprinted. Things like that are the only things that matter to someone like me. Because we don't really know the nature of the gruesome things, so we can't exactly tie it to anything we know so far. People afraid of the forest. I know I underlined the whole sentence before, but just in case. No, okay. Okay, I'm not finding anything new there. Let's see. We got this before. After quite some time, I got to see that special secret meeting place I've already mentioned and promised to invite me to. During a stormy night, I had to traverse Northwood Forest. A place that no one wants to enter after dark due to its lonely and notoriously twilight world, which can daunt even the bravest person. Drove my car through the forest on the uneven soil pathway between the dimly lit, evanescent lights and sounds which resembled the nighttime frolics of wild fawns. Suddenly I saw, or thought I saw, some recesses, which probably opened up to some underground clefts or caves, after which I had heard many tales during my childhood, since some of them are believed to be meeting places for witches. I think we already did this too, but let me... Okay, so that's fawn again. Didn't really give us more. Some of them are believed to be meeting places for witches. Okay. This caused my uneasiness to grow. Maybe the matter that caused me to be so greatly affected there is the 200-year-old incident that caused a drunk named Annabelle Glaucio to scream horribly whilst running to the town on the uneven soil pathway and trails from that forest. He'd been bleeding profusely. I mean, I guess let's just do this whole sentence starting out. Nothing there. Okay. He had been bleeding profusely, and because of his screams, he'd caused everyone to wake up and gather around him. I read this story of craziness in a newspaper article as told by the drunk himself. In the article, he mentioned a group of people who had worn clothes made of animal skins, living in a small cave hidden by the forest at the foot of Northwood Mountain. Although I don't think this is going to give us a clue, because I mean, this basically ties to what we know about the area, that there used to be tribes, like more local tribes that lived in these parts, and they were kind of basically wiped out by people settling in the area instead. After eating something, a strange group summoned something from beneath a dark well-like hole by pounding the palms of their hands onto the ground and playing a thing that the drunk described as a musical instrument, which was set up the edge of that dark well-like hole. So now that we've made the connection with the musical instrument, the didgeridoo from our dream, plus the reference at Edward Braunbell's place, I wonder if this has more meaning now. No. Okay. After that, as a result of the thing that answered the group's call and coming from below the well-like hole, the drunk had run screaming Asdanoit all the way to the town. I know that according to the article, all the local people accused him of being in a drunken stupor while in the forest and inventing the entire story. I'd investigated the story and discovered it was in accordance with some historical truths. And I decided that these are not matters that can be invented by a simple drunk like Annabelle Glaucio. Maybe for that reason that night I proceeded through the forest with a cautious feeling inside me. Now, I can't be sure. When I reached that sinister-looking place situated on a cliff just outside the forest, the time was 2 in the morning. It was not large, but its old, darkened, waterlogged, and worm-eaten wooden planks made it seem disturbing, and, since I could not discern its features in the darkness of the moonless night, it seemed to me even more formidable. With this manifestation, I couldn't help but thinking that Edwin Pickman was looking at it when he wrote these lines. See, we have this, and we thought we saw a vision of Edwin Pickman before, and he has that stanza that we read also. It's like 3 references to Edwin Pickman. Somehow, he's tied to this in some way. We just haven't connected the pieces yet. They're saying it's under sunlight, a marker to show it's still there. It's black as night with no moonlight, and its doom is laid so bare. I mean, is laid so bare? Seems like he's an average poet, maybe? This isn't especially clever poetry. But okay. I'm not trying to be overly critical, sorry. Participating in the meeting were 3 strange people in addition to Ivar and myself. So, is this going to enumerate them as 5? He's not going to put the pieces together. Okay. As time passed, our conversation got deeper, and I felt as though their verbal and facial expressions were emitting a penetrating, dense, evil sensation and a disgusting pressure, which made me feel nauseous. At first, I thought that this feeling was somehow I couldn't shake off, even though I firmly tried, was caused by the height and age of the place. Hey, Faux Fox, welcome. Sorry I'm a little late on noticing. But now I shiver with fear much more than even that night, when I remember looking into their corpse-like dull eyes. Corpse-like dull eyes? And remember the fast movements of their exceedingly thin bodies, and their whispering in an unfamiliar language while looking directly at my face. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, this right here makes it sound like they actually summoned something. So when Ivar was running and felt like all scared, like something was after him, something might have been after him. Until morning in that worm-eaten building, which is standing on that sinister cliff, we spoke about suspicious topics and unknown secrets, without caring about the freezing effect of the whistling wind that blew in from between the rotten old planks. I don't know. Huh. I don't really see a clue in here, I don't think. Maybe the thing that helped me not to care about the place, and most important of all, about those 3 cadavers, were the topics that enchanted me and benumbed me like alcohol. Yeah, see, this is... We're going to tombs. They were digging up tombs, potentially. We've got 3 cadavers. Are we not making this connection? Seriously? I guess not. Okay. This would be one of those things, for example, I'm talking about, right? Where the game tries to anticipate, do you have enough clues to understand this and make a connection? Whereas I, as the player, am making connections and like, I guess that's nothing. Okay. These topics were beyond all ordinary human thinking and perception. Showed me some carved antique stone pieces and old books and told me about the hidden machine that only Franz Mesmer dared mention, and about the powerful alchemists and magicians whose names are unknown to ordinary people. Couldn't help thinking that there were many and more things that weren't shown to me. For a long time I thought that I heard some strange noises, and that I could hardly separate from the roaring sound of the sea that accompanied the storm, which I didn't dare mention when I saw that the others weren't aware of this. I can now say with certainty that this force is not for sane people. Let's do this. I don't think this is going to yield us anything new, but let's see just in case. Yeah, okay. It is a place where night creatures gather to worship Nyx by dancing, howling, jumping from tree to tree, and sacrificing in the underground passageways. And I don't want to go to that rotten place which now belongs once more to the forest. This is where he says he dropped his digital organizer. After all that craziness, isn't it ironic that I'm still staying here of my own volition? I don't know if I'd say that's irony, but okay. Irony is something unexpected that's almost like in direct contrast to what you would expect happening. So, for example, you had rehabilitation of a beached whale, or not a beached whale, a beached seal, right? And then they freed it. They let it out into the sea and said, go, or the into the ocean and said, go, be free again. And only like 100 yards off the coast of the sea, it got eaten by a whale in front of everybody. That's irony, right? The exact, you do put all this effort to make it live again, just so that it can go out and die, like right after you release it. That's irony, right? This, I don't know if this is really irony. You have crazy stuff happening and you stay there anyway. It's not like circumstance forced you into staying. You may be crazy, yes, but I don't know that I'd say it's ironic. But anyway, that's fine. I'm not trying to split hairs. Okay, so that's 2 or 3. 2. So for the past 2 weeks, I was out of town because of my job, And when I returned feeling tired, I learned the restoration had not been completed due to the sounds some of the workers suggested came from the cellar. This incident made me really angry, and I immediately obtained a strong flashlight in order to find out what those superstitious vagrants may have been afraid of. My purpose was, by using the old rusty ladder, to go down and just take a look down there. But it didn't matter how many steps down I took. The ground continued to be concealed in the claustrophobic pitch darkness of the well. A short time later, I noticed the opening of a horizontal tunnel, which was where we went, right? I entered the tunnel to check it. I don't know how long I stayed in there wondering why and when this worm-like burrow was dug. But when I decided to proceed, I felt like my legs were aching. This is a strange, I mean, it could just be from he's not used to exercising and he was in a kind of a crouching, semi-crouching position for a long enough time. But that does strike me as odd that he would say his legs were aching. But it could just be for that kind of a reason. After moving forward a short distance, I reached a wide chamber, which was full of blood-curdling, strange statues. I don't know about blood-curdling, but we did see those same statues down below Edward Braunbill's place, right? But it doesn't connect. Okay. On its walls, you can see signs of some erased and now, to a great extent, unreadable writings or wall paintings. The air was dominated by some kind of thick, decaying smell, which caused me to cough frequently. From the opening of the tunnel, on the right and left walls of the chamber, there were some kind of statues which looked almost alive. So much so that just for a second, I thought they would rise and start to walk, which I thought depicted saurian-headed creatures with the bodies of men. There was another figure which seemed to depict a ruler, similar to the hybrid statues on the walls, who was sitting on his throne and watching. See this? Another. Right? Okay. Let's just do from here. There was another figure which seemed to depict a ruler, similar to the hybrid statues on the walls, who was sitting on his throne. Doesn't connect it, though. Okay. And watching one of these creatures being sacrificed. Now, in fairness, in Edward Braunbill's place, we didn't have any sacrifice statue there. Like, we didn't have a statue showing what was supposed to be a sacrifice going on. So that was a little bit different. Seems depicted with such realism, no one could look at it without feeling a sense of terror. When I got close to the figure sitting on its throne, I noticed that some kind of smoke was leaking from the gaps that were behind the concrete throne. So there's another thing. When we were in Edward Braunbill's place, we started coughing when we got down to that area where the Saurians were. But I guess still nothing. Maybe they stay because it feels right at the time, unless they are being forced to stay. They want to stay. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, it's really hard to say, right? There are some things that seem odd, behavior that seems out of the ordinary. Sometimes it seems suspicious, and sometimes it just seems strange. It's hard to tell exactly like what reasoning could have been going on at the time these things happened. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Discord decided way late. Or was it Discord, or was it maybe? Well, whatever it was. Hang on. Let me see what this says. Okay, I don't care. What now? Okay, hang on. I've got this notification and it's being dumb. I don't even know. Whatever. Okay. My phone's dumb because it gives me a notification that shows up. Then I tap it to go to the notification. It does not take me to the notification. So I'm like, okay. So I close the thing it did open, which is the wrong thing. I sleep my phone again, and then I tap so that I can see what notifications I have again, and that notification is now gone. I don't even know. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't have anything to do with the game. Sorry. I heard some Where was the gas? Oh, here it is, yeah. In fact, this was not easily discerned because if not for the wind which was blowing the smoke inside, I wouldn't have noticed it at all. I heard some sounds coming from behind those gaps, which allowed the wind and smoke to enter. The presence of these gaps made me believe that there may be other chambers below that one. If so, this could be an important archaeological discovery. But we're not going, at least up to this point, we're not going back down there. Right after we heard the noises and we fled, we've decided not to return. We vowed never going back there. This is more stuff about the sounds he heard. Let me just read it just to make sure we're not missing something. I did this, reference smoke. And there's another one here. I don't think the second one will give us anything if the first did not. No, okay. Wouldn't have noticed at all. Sounds. Smoke a third time. But no. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there. I jumped to the front and hearing some noises that were certainly coming from beyond the tunnel in the depths of the pitch black well. I immediately entered the tunnel, intent on locating the source of the noises. In spite of my strong flashlight, visibility was limited. Through weary eyes, it may have been a momentary illusion or the enormously magnified shadow of a rat being illuminated by my flashlight beam. But I saw, or think I saw, something moving down there. I jumped with fright because of this, but only later would I realize the thing that shocked me and caused me to wake up from nightmares and listen shivering to the sounds that came from beyond the darkness that, like a thick blanket, covered the places where merciful moonlight cannot reach. Oh, only later would I realize the thing, not that thing. I would realize the thing that shocked me, so he now knows what it was, I guess. While I attempted to see something with my flashlight, within the glutinous darkness, I heard a feeble voice that came from some faraway place calling it something like, "Come." The voice was very similar to that of Ivar's very familiar low-pitched voice. Through the effect of that shock, I threw my flashlight into the dense and dreary darkness, and with both hands free, I dashed to the cold, damp, and rusty metal ladder, which at that time seemed to me as though it was eons old. While I was climbing up and without daring to look down, I caused a piece of the ladder to be broken off, and it fell into the pitch darkness. Maybe because of the comfort and feeling provided by this incident, I managed to reach the top and get out of that well. The next morning, when I woke up to my bedroom bathed in sunlight, I thought that all these events were just delusions, merely caused by excessive weariness and insomnia. Okay. I reached another conclusion. Maybe Ivar was right about the restoration. This sort of place has very important features invisible to the naked eye. Hence, I decided to leave the house as it is now. I am not going to make any further efforts to restore the house. And nothing on this last page. And this is, which one was that? 2, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're on 1. This is stuff we've been through like 400 million times. Sorry about that. I decided to write these notes precisely 1 month after I bought this house, in which I found myself lost in thought, adrift in its dim silence. I escaped the meaningless monotony of my life by listening to every creak, every sound the house makes. I may not write often, but I think that these notes are important. I found this house only by an astonishing coincidence. I had gotten lost in the snow-covered narrow streets of this part of the city while I was wandering. I felt in awe as though I were adrift in some misty past. I awoke from my wonder and strove to find the way back, and that is how I came to this house. Its majestic appearance attracted my attention. For some time, I had wanted a place to come to from time to time, to listen to this overlooked world of the past that no one knows, and where no one wants to come. I found a barely legal metal plate on the half-ruined garden wall that showed the number of the house. It was covered with rust, probably as old as the house itself. Without hesitation, I recorded the number in my digital organizer, which I bought some time ago because of my increasing forgetfulness. When I inspected it from the outside, it was obvious that no one lived there at that time. I examined it in order to learn if it was for sale or not, and I can't describe my feelings when I found the person who was selling it. Later, I talked to the vendor, and with a happy smile on his face, I remember he said he had never come here before the house, or had never come here before the house had been left to his company because of a mortgage, and he wanted to sell it right away, but never thought that this would happen. He didn't know anything more about the house, and in fact, I wouldn't have cared if he had. I bought it without hesitation. There is one point that I don't want to continue without mentioning. After I bought the house, I learned that it had another admirer who introduced himself as Ivar Bergen, a Norwegian immigrant. Judging from his appearance, it was obvious that he was a wealthy person, and I remember that he said when we first met that he was also an aspiring owner, but it seemed that he was too late. I feel like we might not be getting anything new from these. I don't know. How many more pages? I mean, this is several. We'll come back to one again later. Let's go elsewhere. We do have that book of kind of, not riddles, but what do you got? Stories back at our apartment. We could look at that. Maybe we do that. Let's do that right now. That would be here, right? Yeah. Okay. I am still surprised, by the by, that this ring... I mean, having the ring here and saying it's a family heirloom almost screams it's that same serpentine ring, right, that we saw elsewhere. But it just says it's precious to him. She's not going to take the gun either, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, we have a new message.
Message 1.
Hidden message. Achievement unlocked. Okay, but what did that tell us? Did that give us a clue or anything? Nah. Keep doing the wrong thing. It's not what I want. Did we get something new? Dialogue? So we get... I don't see anything new. I wonder if that was just an Easter egg or something. Okay, let's look at... It was just that top drawer? Yeah. Let's look at the book again. See, this is also Edwin Pickman. Edwin Pickman, again and again and again. He keeps showing up at different things, right? Like, he did this book about creepy stories. He did books of he did several poems that are kind of leaning in the creepy direction. He was outside, not far from the cabin. I mean, okay. And he just suddenly disappeared. I wonder if he was killed at some point and he kind of haunts the area now. We looked at this before. Let's see if there's anything in this preface that sticks out. There are times when even the howlings of the fearful sirens are not enough to affect one. And there are such times when even the withered moon that is hidden behind a cloud can affect and shatter a life which is in the darkness of a cave. All these references to caves. Seriously, we don't notice anything with that? Okay then, fine. Illusions of myths that are long forgotten affect and dominate the imagination unexpectedly. Thus, some people imagine primordial forests in which thousands of unknown life forms are living, dark cities where life ended eons ago, and deserts where the highest towers of those dark cities now are no more than simple pieces of rock revealing only very tiny portions like the tip of an iceberg. They wander in vast crypts, which are full of the permanent smell of death, and in places where one can remember that beauty and splendor had once existed, proving that no beauty and splendor can exist forever. And some folk observe fascinating and dreadful details while others miss, or which others miss. And even if these details are sufficient to make them crazy, who can understand their meanings? But these details are carved into the minds of the ones who deliberately miss them, and in time they change into myths, which in turn induce consternation. Sometimes the past that should be dead shows itself cruelly in instant hallucinations and enchanted dreams. In such situations, a person can only have peace when he forgets everything. The fundamental thing is that really time is the only friend of forgetfulness. Friendships are not eternal. Peace is a luxury which can be obtained through eternal sleep for those who do not have nepenthe. It's not going to be, just saying, yeah, doesn't. Anyway. The burnt house. Have we had a burnt house that we've looked at so far? I don't think so. Could be something like this in the forest. Maybe we'll look at this later when we're in the forest. We already got a bunch of clues from this, or several. Boom, 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 right? So I feel like we've probably done that one sufficiently. Monster sigh, I've seen the moon awful and pale as looking upon me in its darkened sail. No blinks, no closing, just stared too hot like the eye of a monstrous god. Winds shouted and mocking stars were wiped, but the pale monstrous eye has never stopped. It keeps looking on as if hating me. Screamed I, what have I done so wrong to thee? And the eye replied in a cacophonic rhyme, ye were cursed, O ye the devil's mime. But how unfortunate for me, for as ye be under my beams, the thing that's cursing me. How dare ye own the sun's own beams? Without them you're not, all pass ye by. Don't look upon me, ye monstrous eye, 'cause when the sun comes, you'll disappear like dreams. Pale, lifeless, malicious sentry of night, shout it out, so that clouds all flee from sight, and the raging winds suddenly died out to hear what the unblinking eye will say to make me fear. But it has done nothing yet, still staring at me. But it has done nothing yet, still staring at me. Like it was saying, damned thing, I do curse thee. From now on, they'll always feel my enmity, till the clouds will be thine only ease to eternity. And every night keeps looking, staring at me, monstrous eye perceive. I too am just like thee. Only the damned ones can safely walk under thine damned beams, till the sun comes out to hinder. But that's very poetic, actually, but I still don't know how any of this really would tie. We don't have things that seem to be moon focused. If this were Simulacrum, I would say yeah, but obviously in this, it's different. Things are very earth focused here, right? Very like under the earth and in caverns dug underground. There's nothing really moon focused here, as far as I could tell. Okay, I don't think. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. The thing is, I don't even know what I'm looking for either. Lord Hypnos. Call. Yeah, okay, I don't think this is giving us anything either. Let's back out. Really, what I should probably do is I should probably go look back at the cabin. Make sure there's not something here that I've missed in some of the letters. Plus, now that we've been to Edwin Braunbell's place, it's very possible some of these references in the letters will make more sense. They might not, but I feel like they might. Hang on one second, though. I'm going to... We're going to pause momentarily. Because there was that message. It's kind of bothering me. That it's not been, I've not seen the result, like it's not been resolved, what that notification was. It looked like it had come to me from Monmouth, or I think, or Patak maybe? Anyway, let me see. Okay, I don't see it there. Was there... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in Discord or in email. I look. The other thing I could do is this really fast. Yep. No, I don't see it there either. I do not know. Alright, well, it's fine. We should go back. One sec, I gotta turn this on again. So you can see it. Okay. I'm trying to think. I think down below we might be done finding things. We already got the map from the one thing we wanted. We already got the print, the ink print right here from the back of that one statue that we had used putty on. Talk to the prisoner. Really don't see a point in talking to him anymore. Got the stuff from Clarkfield's coat. Talked to Lilith Nolder all the way at the end of the hall. Went in the chamber or the room that had like the chain link electrified fence and whatever. Looked at all that stuff. Yeah, I can't think of anything more down there. I feel like if we're gonna find something, it's probably gonna be up. Let's start with all the way up. So in this room over here. Double check stuff we've looked at before to make sure we've not missed anything. Oh, you know what? We may not be able to. Let's see if there's any more with this now. We move forward. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. You can zoom, but there's not much. I think there at one point, as we were going along, I think there was probably like a letter opener or something there. I think that might have been where we found one of them. But I don't know. Okay. Still don't know who DEG might be, right? We were at Edward Braunbell's place. That'd be EB, not DG. So, as told in the Timber subsequent to a green colored smoke, a dim flame was seen, but the mentioned face wasn't. But I don't think the smoke in Edward Braunbell's place was green that we saw, right? We just started coughing was all. Not sure I can read the prayers correctly when the water's risen, and I'm not certain about the part that I believe to be said the moon is the right location. In a short time, we will report to you the results of my latest research. Okay. So that's the farthest of number 5. Number 4. Brother, I hope you're all right. Happily, I want to declare to you that the EB, Edwin Braunbell problem, has been solved. Isn't that? So EB is Edward Braunbell, as Arthur mentioned. Okay, so we got that clue. The little building in the garden is under our control now. Didn't that other letter that was like the real estate salesman or whatever, didn't that other letter that Clark Field had gotten, didn't that talk about the shape of the garden and that there, yeah, I feel like this seems maybe to tie. It's garden and garden. So I'll just start to examine it too. Oh my! They eliminated Edward Braunbell? Does this mean the madman in the other prison cell is Mr. Braunbell? If he's not dead, then it must be Mr. Braunbell. Oh, poor Braunbell achievement. The prisoner must be Mr. Braunbell. Oh, I did not put that together. I didn't think about the fact that they said they took care of the problem. Oh. Yeah. Since we couldn't take that old fool's house in ordinary ways, we've used the last and most direct solution. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. Now JD is residing there. Do we know a JD? Wait, was it James Straighten? I thought it was Christopher. Pretty sure it was Christopher, so I don't think that's the same one. I don't think we know JD, right? Or do we? Yeah, I don't think we know JD yet. Now JD is residing there. I'm sure you'll want to join him in his examination. Communicate with him. Okay. And we have found a palanquin where there which contains some objects. We think this object is some kind of keys. Further investigation is needed. Okay, so this we found, right? These are those 5 discs we found when we were there. Doesn't say anything about it though. We did not yet try those on the target location because, as you know, to enter some places without knowledge may be very dangerous. Okay. I don't know where the target is. The target location, because we played this before and kind of backed up a little bit. Is the target location Samuel Poer's tomb? I feel like that might be what that is. Okay, well, that was 4? Yeah. Okay, 3. Hi, friend. I want to proudly announce that we discovered what we've been seeking. The city was lying buried in the sand 1 mile northwest of the location we last dug at. According to some local legends, all the inhabitants of the city were killed and the city was buried under the sands because of their sins. These legends have greatly influenced the locals, and we noticed when we examined the city, or as we noticed when we excavated the city. We uncovered it after 2 weeks of exhausting work. The first things that we noticed were the skeletons and abundance of bones scattered everywhere, some of which appeared to have been gnawed on. Yeah, see, this is the gnawing again, right? But he doesn't put the gnawing sounds plus actual gnawing together. Okay. We found parchments which contain pictures and some strange hieroglyphs in a cave that was most likely used as a library. The sections with pictures look like they are about necromancy and sorcery. Is that what they're doing with the bones? They're going to raise the dead? Okay. One parchment in particular is very exciting because it has some sections that look like the Voynich manuscript, which is thought to be related to the Botanic.
In some buildings, stained low altars, which have really exciting symbols on them, greet the eye. Inside the buildings with these low altars, it is apparent that at one time the walls were adorned with colorful petroglyphs. This desert is not as auspicious as it first seemed. I listened to the sounds which Marco Polo had mentioned, and I can say, click this, hello, click next, there we go, that he was right. Some nights, speech and music were heard so close to our camp that it'd be fatuity not to try to record them. But it cannot be said that we were successful in that attempt, because the only thing we had were the screams of the wind that was continuously moving the sands and immersing us in incoherent thoughts. I think this discovery is an important step on the way to our ultimate goal, which needs to be examined a bit more. I hope I can send detailed documents about all of our discoveries in a short time. Take care till then. I still don't think we have any reference for that to help us out, right? Oh! Maybe we do now. Because I swear I underlined that name before. Okay. I remember from a book I read a long time ago. I mentioned the sounds that Marco Polo heard in the Central Asian desert Taklamakan, place of no return. Or it mentioned, so the book mentioned that. Oh, or is that what this is? Okay, so underlining this at the end over here doesn't... It just does that same reference again? Oh, weird. I don't know why I looked at the other thing still. Okay, well, whatever. That's fine. My old friend, you may be worried because you haven't heard from me for some time, but I can assure you that you will be surprised when you see things I've found. In the package that I have sent you, I've added all of the copies of my discoveries together with notes about what I've written. It is very noticeable that they are very ancient, but still, I think that they were copied from an even more ancient source. The drawings on the fourth parchment seem particularly attractive and confusing. They may seem meaningless at first, but when you inspect the notes that I have added, they will be clearer. I think that the sign with an Ouroboros around it serves as a key or source for the others. That didn't ring a bell. Okay. And I still cannot understand the meaning of the diagram in which the familiar celestial bodies are shown in strange locations. If you find any clues about these matters, please let me know. I wonder if those celestial bodies are that hole like on the back of the thing that we saw. Okay. Even if I wanted to talk about these things excessively, I have to stop here for now. I have to travel shortly, and I won't return for 1 month, hence you will not hear from me during that time. I think that I will be back at the latest on 2011. The time is getting closer, and thus these things will start to become more complex. This is the date of someone's return to their residence, but who will return where? Yeah. P.S. I think there's a connection between my discoveries and the book you've sent, but it would be best to leave this until our next conversation, since I've not been able to examine it sufficiently. John D. And I don't think we have a John D. yet. Yeah. Just in case I did not underline it well, because it kind of partially underlined, but I didn't think so. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we got, I guess, this underlined again, although I thought we'd already underlined that before, but maybe in my fixing of my game, I missed that. It's possible. Dear IB, I will try to write down completely all the information regarding the strange disappearance of Mr. R. Mr. R. Do we know an R, Mr. R? I feel like we don't know a Mr. R right now. It's Clark Field, that'd be an F. Ivar Bergen is a B. Edward Braunbell is a B. Yeah, I don't think we have a Mr. R. Where we know the full name yet. In regarding the strange disappearance of Mr. R, which I have learned directly from Mr. FV. I beseech you to send this mail to Mr. Kerwin too, because as you know, I have to leave for Salil today. I mean, we already suspect Mr. Kerwin is Ivar Berrigan, I believe. Okay. About 1 month ago, Mr. R had written a letter to Mr. FV mentioning a police operation was being conducted in the area where he was living and how he felt uncomfortable because of this event. A police operation? No, okay. According to what Mr. R said, police heard some unusual things, and because of this, they started their investigation in the suburbs. May or may not be useful information. No, okay, at least not right now. Some people have been arrested, but the reason for these arrests has not been announced publicly. In the successive days, Mr. FV got in touch with one of our police friends and got some information regarding the strange operations. According to our police connection, the investigation focused on 2 Gabonese soldiers or sailors and what they brought from some Eastern Indian islands. So we did get this before. I'll look at that clue in a minute because that is already in our notes. Mr. R tried to retrieve information regarding these Gabonese sailors. Sailors gave some objects from some Eastern Indian islands where they often sailed with merchant ships to some unknown persons in the suburbs. At a tavern called Knight's Head, he learned from an undependable source, from a drunk. The police seized one of those objects in the course of investigation. If they have police contacts, this means that maybe this police, whoever their contact was, kifed that and has given it to them. According to the drunk, they had sold a very ancient parchment to someone named Legoise and were paid very generously. I still don't think that we have anything that can shed light on who Legoise would be. Then these two had quit sailing and went back to their country, Gabon. That last object, the parchment, was very important and dangerous. Mr. R said all of this in his last letter to Mr. FV, but after a month, when Mr. FV noticed no replies to his letter to been coming from Mr. R, he wanted to visit him personally. When he arrived at his house, there was no trace of Mr. R. That is all that Mr. FV told me. He is now residing at Mr. R's place and waiting for further orders. I have sent a letter to Mr. FV telling him to contact you, and I hope that he will visit you soon. Your servant, Z. Just Z? I think I tried that also before, right? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. And that was the first one? Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything to shed light on who our police friends might be? Try to hide something. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's see. We have over on this side if we have any more details that could help out over here. Usage marker in the old maps is a great way to find the place of the condition of the maps deteriorating rapidly to avoid further damage. The maps have been placed in this special cabinet for storage. We've discovered a lot of places by using them in our research continues. The most important place to be found is an ancient cemetery that hides tombs we've long sought after. The ruins that were found 354 meters from there lead me to believe this place was an ancient settlement. Perhaps the ruins were once a town that belonged to folk called Eather that lived on Northwood Mountain long ago. Mr. Kerr will start searching this place within a few days. I don't think so. Let's see if there's a clue in there somewhere. Nope. Start searching this place. Okay, that's kind of just general details, not anything necessarily solid. Begun to examine the special wooden sculptures that Mr. Kerwin obtained from Africa. These identical wooden sculptures have a hidden compartment in them which are protected by some kind of locking, blah, 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 blah. We've already done this. Don't know what it's meant to contain. I've also seen firsthand one of these sculptures in one of the places we discovered the aid of the maps. With the aid of the maps. These sculptures are extremely important. But I don't think that's going to be... Yeah. Okay. Inside the one that I opened, I found various kinds of leaves and an eyeless dead insect, which I couldn't identify. I mean, we had them from the one wooden statue, and then when we came to after having been passed out for a while, we didn't have them anymore. So I don't know why we wouldn't think at least comment on that. But having no eyes made me think this species of insect lives its entire life in dark and deep caves where no sunlight ever penetrates. I haven't figured out which plant or tree the leaves come from. Their smell is strong and very interesting. Since the same smell emanates from the other places the sculpture emanates from the other sculptures, which I couldn't yet open. I assume that all of them contain the same items. Mr. Kerwin says the purpose of these sculptures is to contain the Distraint mixture. Still nothing really much on that. Okay. All of my research concerning the Distraint mixture has not yielded satisfying results. This indicates its preparation has been protected extremely well, or that knowledge of it had passed on through oral traditions. And in even the most ancient and comprehensive writings, hardly any information can be found about it at all. According to these writings, the mixture had a very potent effect on people. It's known that the mixture can induce altered states of consciousness. I believe it has additional effects because Versailles is of critical importance to the soul metamorphosis doctrine. So Ivar sounds to me like he may have been under the influence of that and had his kind of freak out when he met up with Clark Field. Maybe. The moment I'm working on opening the locks of the sculptures without jamming them in any way. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's not... That was that. Half full inkwell. Okay. So nothing more there. Did we get clues, though, because of the... Mr. Kerwin, ring with snake figure. Let's just open all of these for now, and I can kind of scan through. Nothing new here with that secret message thing. I guess it was just an achievement or something. Calendar, packet. We already did these things. We could do that. That was at his office saying he was gone. And then we thought that Mr. Kerwin might be him. But since we already suspect, that's probably, not going to give us anything new. I think with this, we might want to go downstairs and talk to Edward Braunbell. So they didn't kill him, maybe, but maybe he's under like down below. This one bothers me. I feel like, I mean, we don't know, but the only other police person we know is Arthur, so he immediately comes to mind as a suspect. I'm not saying he is involved. I mean, we already kind of put the pieces together after that note we were reading, so. Calendar. Okay. Let's back out of that. I guess let's go down below and talk to Edward Braunbell, if that is Edward Braunbell. Because I don't know. We can come back up there. I don't know if there's anything more up there we want to see right now. I think we've done everything over back there that we want to do. We might need to do more later, but I think we've already done what we need to. The eye symbol again. That's great. That's my favorite symbol. Yeah, let's see if we talk to him again. You found a secret.
Mr. Braunbull, I know who you are now. Edward Braunbull. Are you there, Edward? He doesn't answer me.
And that's it, I guess, huh? He's probably gone mad. There's no use in talking to him. Okay. Hang on just one sec here. Okay. Okay. There. Sorry about that. Oops, that's going back to. Yeah, we want. No, this is okay. This is leaving the room. For a second, I thought we were in the hall and we were going to head down farther to Loth Nulra. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Still can't get in here, right? Yeah, okay. And I guess technically I shouldn't. I haven't yet checked just past this on the two sides here. These are both probably locked as well still, right? That's out. This one? Yeah. Okay. I figured they would be, but just in case. Wait, I was gonna go to the attic. So we got everything from all these, right? See, the things like this, like the drawings on the fourth parchment seem particularly attractive and confusing. Oh no, I guess that's... We've already seen that parchment, haven't we? Yeah, it's so strange that this does not give us a clue at all. So we did that. Who also called Edward Braunbell an old fool before? Who also called him an old fool? Am I missing something from another letter? Ivar may have called him an old fool. Is there something in one of these? Let's see. Where does he start talking with Ivar? I mean, that the first couple pages where he met him. Is there old fool somewhere in one of these? Length. I'm not seeing old fool so far. Although that doesn't, I guess it doesn't make sense to look for Ivar, right? Because, well, is it this one? This is from Ivar. So it's somebody besides Ivar calling him an old fool.
Howard, where are you? I've been trying to reach you for days. Are you alright?
Yes, yes. Everything is fine. I've just been a little busy with some personal matters.
Listen, I don't know what you're up to, but just be careful and don't get yourself into anything too deep, alright?
Yes, of course.
By the way, I found the address you asked for. It belongs to Edward.
Here we go.
You may have heard of him. That old fool who lives in Rowley, the town northeast of Wellsmouth. 200 years ago, there were some major incidents in that town. In the end, the government had to step in. There was chaos. A lot of houses were burned down by some local Puritans
Why?
because of some strange hearsay about witchery and other primeval superstitions. At the time, the name of the town was Holston, but after those incidents, the name was changed to Rowley.
Great. Thanks for the information, Arthur.
You're welcome. By the way, what business do you have with Mr. Braunbull? I've heard he doesn't normally get along well with other people. Or are you still investigating that case?
No, just a personal thing. Thanks for the information, Arthur.
Okay then, see you.
Oh, now I remember everything. Arthur called Edward Bronbell an old fool, says Secret revealed. And the things Mr. Fields said about not going to the police. I can't believe this. Is it really possible? Arthur, my friend, is one of them? Arthur may be one of them. Achievement backstabber. Okay. So there's more about police friends now. Well, I mean, we won't have that clue anymore, probably. We've got this one, probably. Is there anything more that he said that's... The doctor... Trying to remember where we found the key, because that cemetery thing has been bugging me this whole time. Where did we find that key? The key, the identifying thing that told us right where it was in that little panel, right? How can we open that panel though? That had not. Well, let's go up to the attic here first, really fast, I guess. And then I need to try to figure out how we open that panel. Because we opened it in the previous playthrough. I don't know how we're not able to do it now. Something's missing and I don't know what. Sometimes when searching for a particular book, Timber is translated versus the Infinite. Fire broke. According to the Timber, which includes a lot of confusing diagrams and drawings, with the right timing and preparation, things can be summoned from spheres beyond this universe's or even death. With this ancient knowledge, things long forgotten can be discovered again. With the aid of the map, we discover the place where the ones who will be summoned in order to achieve our goal lay. Even though old text gave us information about them, the locations of the tombs were not specified due to the need for complete secrecy. The discovery made last month by Mr. Kerwin was important. They are in the crypts below a tomb, which sits in a very old cemetery in which internments have been prohibited some time ago. The aforementioned tomb was registered in the name of Samuel William Poer. As a result of this information, it was determined who would be awakened from their long sleep. All the preparations for turning back were done under the sign of the star Pleiades by Mr. Kerwin. It's only a matter of time when the ones who are waiting silently in the dark tombs for the day to come return. Everything will have begun. Things written are so strange. Why do these people look for a tomb? What are the things to be summoned? And why is this text in here? Turning back? It's in quotes, but I guess it doesn't stand out. Okay. And then This one just had Pleiades, right? Yeah. I don't know that we have anything new with this right now. Feels like that doesn't give us anything new, any new information right at the moment. And there's that thing of our trip to Africa, right? There was something I thought I underlined in here. Is there not? Yeah. Became contorted and deformed. Which sounds kind of like Ivar toward the end, right? Or Lothnolder. When Lothnolder was caught by the police, he was hospitalized because of disease. This explains his situation a bit better. I don't know that we have anything new though. Okay, I think we need to go back to the cemetery. Hopefully find something new there that we didn't find before. Notice how it's all rainy here. When I get to the cemetery, I bet it's not rainy. Yeah. I mean, it's still kind of creepy or something, but it's not rainy. You know, actually, I don't remember if I did both or not. It might be a trigger. I might have to do both ways and have him say it's a huge place. I mean, I don't think we already got the other references, so I would guess no, but maybe. Okay, let's now go back. One this way, and up, and through. Okay, let's see if we can open that side panel now. I was doing all that other stuff because I'm trying to find... We couldn't open the side panel, so I'm trying to find a trigger that allows that to happen now. See, we can't access this. And if I zoom in, I can't access it either. So I don't know how we get to that. Get a way to open that. I'm not sure. No drawer, right? Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay, the registers of this and similar crypts were separate from the others and put into a secret section under the steps of the cemetery building. Maybe that's what I needed? Seems there's a secret compartment in this building under the steps. Ah, that's why. Okay, I did not underline that before. Or I did before, but I did not underline it since with this new playthrough. Okay, now maybe I could do it. All right. And so now there we go. Here. This must be the secret compartment that's mentioned in the Watchman's notes. There we go. It's stuck. I need something to open it with. Oh. Do I have something to open it with? I had like a crowbar. Oh, I have this dagger. Yeah, I used that, right? There we go. No longer have that, though. Okay, Samuel William Poer. Location of his crypt may be written in the old registers. Okay, so he's going to be here. West side. Here, William Poer. His tomb is in the western part of the cemetery, but its location is not legible. Part of its register is covered with the substance. Do I have... Well, let's look at my think panel. Others, not dialogues, I don't think. Sculptures. Ring with a snake figure in that. Is that what I did previously? I don't remember now. Nope. Okay. Yeah, there's this. I don't know. Did we do something where we cleaned this off? I don't think so, right? Let's just try to go out to the tomb and see. Because I actually don't know if we ever even cleaned anything off. I feel like we may not have. West side. Which... I can't remember which one is which. Let's see. This says... This one is west. West part. Yep. Okay. Then we had gone. So the tomb of William Poer should be here. And then we went like this. Found it over here before. Yeah, there we go. This. It is deformed, but this must be the symbol of the ring, which the watchman mentioned. So could this be Poer's crypt? This should be William Poer's tomb. These statues. This place too? Yeah. This place too. This place mother too. Just kidding. I don't know if this is going to be any different just because we happen to do the other stuff. Doesn't look like it. You could zoom in, but nothing new, at least right now. For either of them. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we have this puzzle. We did not have anything for it before, but I think we might now. Let me go ahead and save here. Okay. Just maybe I need to do this first. Probably not, but just in case, door's locked. Okay, locked tomb door. Okay, now we had... Crap, we don't have it with us. Hang on. It's at Clark Field's place. I forgot about that. Dang it. The diagram kind of that, and I think of what we want it to look like when we finish whatever up, is at Clark Field's place. So let's go out here first really fast. We'll run over there. Grab... Oh. I did not mean... This way is what I wanted. Yeah, we were on the west. We need to go the other way. Anyway, it's fine. Clark Field's residence. Yep. Okay. It is the back room, I believe. The extra room that we had to access over here on the side. I believe this is on the table. Is it here? No. Change drawings. Drawings are unreadable. No, it's not there. Oh, here it is. Over one more. Yep, here. This drawing right here. This, I believe, shows me I don't know about some of this stuff like the skulls and things. I'm not sure. What are the discs that we have? We have a half-darkened sun. This looks like a full sun to me. Are there symbols here by these maybe that help? What is this? Does that look like any of them? A human body on it. Two human bodies. Okay, hang on one sec here. I'm going to pull this up over here so I can. By the way, why is my brightness and contrast and stuff like super... What? It's like washed out. Wonder if I need to restart my computer or something. I don't understand why. Hang on. Where are we? I don't know. It seems really washed out to me. I'll fix it later. I don't want to spend too much time with that. Okay, so I now have that. Okay, so now let me change this back to on. And then this. Okay, back out. I've got that up on my screen now so I can refer to it. I feel like that's probably gives us clues, but, well, there's also this that could help us out, maybe. Nah. Just says he's not seen an alphabet like that. Okay, let's just go back. See if we can use this diagram that was in Clarkfield's place here to figure out this orientation puzzle. So, yes. go to the cemetery. Yeah, my colors are super washed out. I don't know what's going on, but I'll figure it out after the stream. West side again, okay. Alright. Now I go back to the puzzle. Again. Oh yeah, and when we looked at it, we got this locked tomb. No. Sculptures, no. Statues, no. Oh, well. Do those discs count as sculptures? No. And then Serpent Hall statues. Yeah, I don't. Okay. I think that's fine. I guess. Okay. So. Down here. So we want to go. So if you look at, you can't look at it is the thing. So I can't show you, at least not easily. But if I'm looking at the diagram or the drawing that was in Clarkfield's place, this symbol was up here above the drawing. Okay. Then there's the eye here. And then what looks like this? Could be something up there. Okay. I mean, I don't know that this works. I just put them in whatever order. Eye symbol goes there for sure. I mean, based on that drawing. But I don't know. Oh. Oh. Okay, I feel like I'm trying to get them to look like this. So I want that spiral symbol over here. I think. Spiral. And then maybe eye next. Eye. And this last one is the scales thing. That. No. Should stay. Is that not the... Kind of hard to tell. Hang on. See if I can zoom this in a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell though. It's like, okay, so if I'm looking at this, these things seem more like smudges on Clark Field's diagram. Don't really look. So we could do this, and then maybe it's just maybe the order is off. According to Clark Field's diagram, though, the eye should definitely be in that middle of the different circles. But that doesn't mean that the eye ordering is right. So maybe it's... I don't know. I also don't know if this ordering is right. I have no idea if this is. That switches them all back. I feel like that's incorrect. Maybe we put them in a different order? I don't know. Okay, let me... Do I not have... I could do this and maybe put this in here? No. All of these together? Maybe something else. Okay. Try to hide something. Organizer. I feel like it is these things for sure tied to this, but I don't know about ordering things. Based on Clark Field's diagram, this for sure has to happen. That's the first thing, according to what he drew. The others are all, like, empty. But I don't think they're actually empty. I think they're just not defined. Yes, we can't rotate these without discs. Let's see. We have... Let's put these back in the kind of the order I had them before. I wonder if that Pickman poem... What was... We don't have it with us, do we? Crud. Okay, hang on. Let me take this back. There were 4 lines in the Pickman poem. There are 5 discs, though. Maybe it's a combination of that poem plus the diagram from Clark Field's place. Okay, where was that poem again? That was at our place. Right? Wait, we have a quatrain with us, though, right? Somewhere? Yeah, this one. From the eyes and evil hate, I learned to hide in the darkest shade. There is darkness, right? There's the sun, There's the half sun. But before the time cursed date, I'll dare to leave the shadows. Did he say nothing? It just disappears. What if we do this? Better change my point of view. The fact that we can't take that thing from Clark Field's place makes it a little more problematic. So we have the Pikmin quatrain with us. We don't actually need to go back anywhere. We've already got the clue, I think, here. Let's try this again. Okay, so once again, from Clark Field's place, this is supposed to be here. Okay, the quatrain. In fact, I'm going to move this over just so it's close by. This there and this there. Okay. The quatrain says, from the eyes an evil hate. Is there like an evil hate of some kind? There's from the eyes an evil hate. But then what if this is the middle? Maybe that's incorrect anyway. From the eyes an evil hate. Learn to hide in the darkest shade. But before the time of the cursed date, I'll dare to leave the shadows. Cursed date, and then leaving the shadows? I mean, I don't know, but... Oh, I didn't realize these were rotating. Interesting. Okay, let's try this again. From the eyes, an evil hate. Eyes, an evil hate. I still feel like this has to go in the middle because it's that way in Clark Field's place. So from the eyes, an evil hate. Learn to hide in the darkest shade. Learn to hide in this is dark shade, maybe? For the time of the cursed date, I'll dare to leave the shadows. Dates are often just by day, and then this is kind of him coming out of the shadows, maybe? And then if we use the other, it's spiral eye and like scales or something. Let's see. Back one and then this one. Cursed date, I'll leave the shadows. That. Oops. Other way, I think. I don't even know if that's the right order. Could be this one needs to be in the middle. In which case, what I want to do, I want to change this to be that. This be that. Guess. Oh, I was wrong way. This way. This way. This way. This way. No, hang on. Back. This way. But this would need to be scales. Where's scales? The other way? There. So, 2. So I'm going to go left one. No. What do I want? Oh, this way? And this. That's wrong. I don't even know what I want to do exactly. Want it that way, I think. I mean, I don't even know. This really is kind of fun with puzzles with Zexor or something. I really don't know. I mean, Should this be a different... Maybe. It should be... Oops. My mistake. It should be spiral. Should be. I don't know. Right? There we go. And now that. Nope. I don't know what the solution is. Well, after several attempts, I guess we'll look it up and see. I don't know. Kind of feel like I don't want to look it up, but I kind of feel like I should because I'm streaming and it'd take forever. Let me just look it up. Hang on. Okay, puzzle based on the process of soul metamorphosis you've read about in various documents. According to the Burnt book, starts and ends with the sun. Wait, what? Burnt book? Okay. So I guess it's supposed... I don't remember that. Starts and ends with the sun. Oh, okay. That's the clue I need. I don't need to look up the full solution. I just need to see. Okay. So I'll do this again. And let's go back. Okay. So we're going to look up soul metamorphosis and try to figure this out separately. Hang on. I'll just remove these for now. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's go back to Clarkfield's place. There's a thing on soul metamorphosis there, I guess. So you need to read that, understand what that order is supposed to be. I guess that's based on soul metamorphosis. So I could have sworn that diagram at his place would have been more important, though. Did that again. I did that last time, too. Nope, stopped. Okay, turn right. One. Turn right. I'm leaving. There we go. Okay, let's go back here. Soul metamorphosis was where? That was... I think that was upstairs in that little briefcase or something. Let's look, though, and see. It's this or maybe the book on the table? I can't remember. No, the thing on the table was unintelligible, wasn't it? Yeah, this is just the Diversa. It's not the soul metamorphosis. Okay, let's see. Where was that book? In there, we only found a rope. Nothing in the bathroom over there. Oh, is that what's on the bed? It might be. Yeah, here's the burned book. I couldn't remember what book he was talking about, but now I know. Okay. And... Okay. So, understanding the soul metamorphosis demands examination of far more complex and esoteric thought systems. Together with certain theories required by the system. It's obvious that the soul metamorphosis is not a state that can be achieved simply through the process of altering the state of consciousness. It appears that from allusions which are found in some of the ancient texts, the information about the characteristics of this state is insufficient to lead to more confusion. But again, a consociate point becomes apparent that this is the probability that the hallucinogenic substances, which can be seen in most of the ancient documents, drawings, and carvings, may serve as a key or catalyzer. Most important examples of these can be seen in the stories that are told about the secret Eleusinian mysteries and the Kaikion mystery, or drink, which were used in these rituals. They're very important in this respect. At this point, I want to continue with some examples of strange and some parts confusing books of the notorious German writer, philosopher, and alchemist Wolfgang Schneider, who lived during the latter part of the 14th century, blah, 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 blah. His book was translated into our language as Eclipse of the Soul. It's really hard to find. Okay. Talks about metamorphosis of the soul. According to the book, in the Diversaha belief, the starting and ending phases of the metamorphosis of the soul process are depicted with the eclipse of the sun. Starting and ending are the eclipse. Okay. So it's going to be okay. So we're going to have the starting and the ending are eclipse of the sun. It's going to be one or the other. I still think that poem is important, that quatrain. And I feel like the fact that it says he's coming out of the darkness at the end probably means we want a half eclipse for the final and a full eclipse for the first. But I don't know for sure. The writer asserted that this belief was based on ancient oral traditional doctrine, but also claimed he had intentionally kept secret sources, which led him to this information. The information necessarily research topic, blah, 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 blah. Yes, methodologist. Okay. Another source that the writer used for proving his assertions must be mentioned and cannot be ignored. Source: a series of parchments, summoning the one who lies beneath. He claimed the originals have been present. Okay. Hieroglyphs and some unknown symbols are not hieroglyphs. Further emphasize one who possessed. Speculation. Rich occultist. Okay. This is according to some Egyptologists, although there's some important thing here, is once again the allusion to the use of hallucinogens. We know that there were mushroom cults owing to the cravings. Fact of the text. Diagrams in the book completely corroborate the historical truths. The Eleusinian mysteries were annual initiation ceremonies for the cult of Demeter and Persephone, based on Eleusis in ancient Greece. Of all the mysterious celebrations of ancient times, these were held to be the ones of the greatest importance. Mysteries later spread. The right cult worship, secret rites, include promises of divine power and rewards in the afterlife. Apep was the deification of chaos and darkness, thus opponent of light, and Ma'at in ancient Egypt. Apep is seen as a giant snake, crocodile, serpent, or in later years, a few cases, a dragon. Concepts: truth, justice, order, and balance. Okay. Understanding soul versus examination performances. Okay. So this gives us some stuff, but it doesn't give us, I think, enough. It just tells us we need to start and end with Eclipse. But we still have... So Eclipse... signifies the cabin. Does this give anything more about metamorphosis then? Because I feel like this just talks about the mixture. Psychological problems. Sound effects. Yeah, this is more just talking about the effects of the hallucinogen once you take it. There should be something referencing that. Let me think. Don't think it's any of the journal entries we have. What is this again? Wonder if there's anything more on the back of this. So this gave us this stuff. Here's an eclipse. Pretty much like a full eclipse. No. Don't think we're getting any more mileage out of that. Don't think there's anything in here because this is more his notes about finding his place and the work he was going to, the renovation work he was going to try to do, that he decided not to do, and then just references to the recordings he made. I don't feel like that is going to help us. Anything else about the metamorphosis, though? Wait. Back to that book. Make sure I didn't miss something. Obviously, a whole bunch of stuff missing here that we can't use, but... According to the book, in their belief, the starting and ending phases of metamorphosis of the soul process are depicted with the eclipse of the sun. Nothing interesting, but... Summoning the one who lies beneath... We have this. Kind of ties to the trip to the desert that one of the guys made. And then... the references to Wolfgang Schneider again and again. No, I didn't mean to go back again. Maybe there's more of a diagram besides just that paper in here. Just generally that maybe matches the symbols on the discs. So not the puzzle itself, but maybe the disc, like what's on the discs or something. Maybe. Let's see. There's anatomy, but not really anything else. Wait. What is... There's kind of an eclipse thing here, but nothing really on that. Okay. No. That's the same. Is there more on this that I missed? So we want to start and end with the eclipse of the sun. This could be the general trajectory. So we start with a full sun. But it says start and end with the eclipse, according to that Wolfgang Schneider thing. So got nothing there. It's just history. Yeah, none of this stuff is going to help with the metamorphosis stuff, the soul metamorphosis information. Maybe back at the cabin? Is that where we're going to find stuff? Maybe. Remember, though. Gosh. This is really kind of back and forth, isn't it? Trying to figure this out. Because I want to figure it out as much as possible on my own, I look for these small snippets of clues to get me kind of pointing in the right direction when I'm completely useless. And then after that, then I am back to trying to figure it out on my own. There's the reference to Pleiades over here, but I don't know if they had any symbols besides... Let's see. Were there specific symbols on here, maybe? Starts and ends with the eclipse of the sun, right? None of these seem to match any of the symbols on the discs we have. This is kind of sun, but not really. Well, I mean, there's the eye. The evil eye. But the evil eye is like all over the place. So, kind of hard to miss that one. Okay. There was, because this tribe or whatever he visited did have a point where they like kind of slapped their hands on the ground like they were going to summon something. So maybe there's a clue in here somewhere. Let's see. Discussing. Treated me kindly. Repeatedly told them my name. Da, 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 da. They were performed because of the great fear. Group of people who said that they were some rooms in the depths. Blah, 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 blah. Spending more time writing. He started getting... Okay, so diabolical dances started to perform during last season's visit here. Accompanied by cacophonous hymns. Only terminated when all the persisters smacked their palms crazy on the ground. We're going to go to some ruins. This doesn't really talk about soul metamorphosis, though. Some of Yeah, I don't see anything in that. Okay. Maybe it's in letters or something. I don't know. So farther up we go, I guess. But I thought we'd already pretty much covered everything in these. Maybe not. These are wooden sculptures and the Diversa mixture. Of critical importance to the soul metamorphosis doctrine. Sorrowvirus mixture is very potent effect on the people. That's great, but that doesn't tell me about symbols I need for... crap. I could just try a bunch of combinations. I mean, I have 2 of 5 things, potentially 3 of 5 things I already know, but then I have not only where the discs go, the big discs go, but then also how to rotate them to get the... This is a bit of a problem. Okay, parchment which contain pictures and some strange hieroglyphs in a cave. Section of pictures look like they were about necromancy and sorcery. One parchment in particular is very exciting because it has some sections that look like the Voynich manuscript, which is thought to be related. Okay, certain altars. They have really exciting symbols on them. Greet the eye. Inside the buildings is apparent. Desert is first. They're hearing music and screams. I mean, that started to reference it, but didn't really get... It's just about taking care of Braunbell. Maybe back at Braunbell's place. I don't know. Like, I'm very confused where I'm supposed to find additional... Whoops, didn't mean that. Additional clues for this. Jeez. Go to Braunbell's mansion again. See if there's something there I missed. I love how the weather's like completely different in different places depending on where you go. And we're all supposed to be all in like the same general area. It's actually kind of hilarious. Doesn't have any symbols on his outfit, so I don't think that's gonna help us. Something up here that I missed? Also describing the Wolfgang Schneider in the texts. Yeah. Also mentioned where you use some used to store Some objects you need for preparing particular mixture. Nothing particularly interesting. Okay. Ancient Ruin. Apparently written by Wolfgang Schneider himself. Includes detailed information about his notorious and shocking ideas. Place I plan to visit. Mentions the symbol. It doesn't say what the symbol is. There's nothing in this painting that would tell me, right? No. Okay. Move this stuff again. See if there are symbols down here that I missed. Very possible. Like if I look at this, for example, does this... No. Not as far as that goes. He doesn't want to go to the left anymore, so I'm not going to bother. We're not going to get anything more from going in there. We got the discs from here, I think, but don't see any symbol ordering. Maybe not down here after all. I do not see. We can't go past this door, I don't think so. Well, I don't know. But I also am not a big fan of not making almost any progress on a streams. Was this had the flashlight before? I think it's just had the flashlight. Well, crap. Okay, I'll just go back to the cemetery and try some combinations again, I guess. Don't know if I really have enough to go off of, though. I really don't. Okay. Maybe I'll end up consulting that walkthrough again. Not a fan of it, but there's a lot I can do about it. Yeah. Because I don't know where else we have anything about metamorphosis. There's stuff anywhere else. It's starting in with an eclipse, and that's like all I got out of that. And then there's the mixture. Yeah, I want to start and end with an eclipse. Eye in the middle. Maybe? I mean, I don't know. Let me do this. Hang on. This is kind of annoying that I'm not able to. Okay. Let me just get to this. Almost there. Think that we're gonna start and end like an eclipse or phases of the sun or moon being covered, right? So I don't think the body, even though this is dark, I don't think the body's gonna have to do with it. So okay, let's try this again, and then we rotate according to this. So spiral over here, eye, and then scales. So let's do this first. I want... That's not what I meant to do. So I was trying to rotate, not... Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I want... Oh, I want I, actually. I want I. Okay, then I want spiral over here. And I want scales over here. There we go. Okay, so that's it. So it's... Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the idea is, so it's the eclipse, front and end. Okay. Hey, welcome back, Fofox. I've been trying to figure out this stupid puzzle. I think we finally got it, though. You could see on there, I heard a click, so we finally got it. Okay, so it's following the process of soul metamorphosis. That was my big clue. So, and then when you go back and read the burned book at Clark Field's place in his bedroom, says the process of soul metamorphosis starts and ends with eclipse. Eclipse always has to do with the sun or the moon. So we had 2 discs that were to the sun. So you start with the sun, you end with the sun. But you're eclipsing, so you go from sun to eclipsed, I guess. Could have been reversed, but and then the soul metamorphosis. So it's a soul, single person, changing into 2 people or splitting into a new person or whatever this second thing. So the top right disc, whatever that's supposed to represent exactly, it's kind of the changing of the person. A new person emerges or some such, right? And we know the eye's in the middle because of the diagram that was at Clark Field's place. So, and then we knew the order of the 3 small circles because of that ink blot print we got off the back of the one statue down. And okay, so we got it now. So I heard a click. I should check the door. Line them up, achievement unlocked. Okay. So now we go here. All right, but because I've been here for a bit. Oh. I guess this is a dream or a sequence. Something's happening. Yep. Hang on, let's see. I think I hear a strange distant call. But anyway. Okay. We're going to save it here. So next time we play, we can continue. Hang on. This is 10. No, it is this, yeah. Okay. I've been working really hard cleaning up my storage tomorrow. I'm renting a U-Haul and I've never driven a truck that size. I'm nervous. Yeah, just be slow and very careful as you go, and you should be okay. And try not to back up with a truck unless you absolutely have to, because backing up is difficult enough for some people, and then doing that with a truck can be a big problem. So I mean, because you have to watch side mirrors, you can't really see out the back and stuff. So okay, so finally we got farther with a bit of help. I'm gonna say like probably 50% of that puzzle was help. Okay, that was a rougher one for me. That was not so easy for me to figure out. That was a particularly challenging puzzle, I think. So, but we got it finally with, like I said, with help. So now we can move forward in the game. Yeah. So tomorrow night, since last week we finished Simulacrum, tomorrow night we're going to continue The Last Door. So we'll finish that. I need to start streaming in the like during the second stream on Saturday, like I was doing for a bit there, which would be what, like 10 hours from now. But I think this weekend is a bad weekend for that time for me. So I'm not going to no stream tomorrow in 10 hours. But in backup 21 hours from now, we will be doing the stream for The Last Door again. So, that will be it for tonight. I appreciate everybody jumping on and watching. Your support makes it a lot easier to do the streams. If I'm all solo, it's much less enjoyable. So, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Why is this? There we go. I was like, it wasn't playing at first. I was very confused. All right, so tomorrow night, 21 hours from now, I'll be streaming again. Last Door. No stream before then, though, in between now and then. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully on stream. Until then, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Until next time. Peace.
Poor spider.
This freaking boy. Oh, that's so sad.